Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the Best Workplaces for Commuters recognition ceremony. My name is Lenina Dobson, and I'm going to be your MC today. Please bear with us for just a few more moments, and we will get started. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm going to turn off my camera until you start, okay?
Wonderful.
All right.
I will go ahead and let you all know if you do have any questions during the presentation, please enter them into the chat box and we will address those either after the presentation or we'll follow up in an email later on. Okay, wonderful. Looks like the gang is all here. Again, if you missed my greeting, I'm Lenina Dobson. I'm an outreach specialist for District One Commute Connector, and I'm going to be your MC today. We're going to walk through really just thanking you and celebrating you for being a best workplace for commuters and for receiving the designation for 2021. The first speaker that we have up today is Secretary L.K. Nandam. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Secretary, if you wouldn't mind turning on your camera now.
Hey, good morning, Lanina.
Good morning.
Did I pronounce your name right? Lanina?
Yeah,
Lanina?
see, it's the same. And did I say it right? Nandam. Nandam.
Nanda. Yeah, you did it.
Perfect.
You did. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll let you have the floor.
Hey, let me just make sure my notes are in the right order. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, so hey, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us in this webinar. I am thrilled to welcome everyone to today's Best Workplaces for Commuters virtual recognition ceremony. My name is L.K. Nandam, and I'm the Secretary for the Florida Department of Transportation here in District 1. I've been with the department for over 16 years. I've started as a traffic operations engineer at the department head level, and then moved on to a director of operations. And I've been in this role as a district secretary for the past 4.5 years. And what I've observed is in the past 16 years, our region in the Southwest Florida has had an amazing time of growth in the region. So that kind of brings us to the challenge of providing the right mobility choices and the opportunities for folks to move from one place to the other, particularly when they're commuting to work, right? Just a little brief overview of our district. Ladina, you want to go to the next slide? Okay, thank you. Okay, so FDOT District 1 includes the 12 counties here in Central and Southwest Florida, starting from Polk all the way down to Collier, covering the West Coast, Manatee down to Collier, and then the central part of the state, which we call the heartland of Florida. And in addition to our state highway system, we also manage significant multimodal infrastructure and services in all the transportation modes that you see on the slide. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we have a pretty good multimodal infrastructure, one seaport, a couple of international airports, and then other major transit agencies. This is because our mission at FDOT is to provide a safe transportation system that ensures the mobility of people and goods and enhances economic prosperity. And preserving the quality of life for our environment and communities is straight out of our mission statement. So it takes all these transportation options working together to provide sustainable mobility for people and goods. One of the conversations that we've been having both at the statewide level and at the district is providing the right mobility option for the right region, right? If you go to Miami area, there's not much widening that we can do. So providing the mobility choices that includes transit, bicycle, pedestrian infrastructure, but also transportation demand management options is becoming very, very important in that area. Then you come to our district, which is Southwest Central Florida. Depending on the area that you're in, the modal choice varies, right? It could be a combination of transit and car. It could be a option of providing that capacity improvements for moving people and goods through the heartland area. So the choice and the solution is going to be completely different. But one thing for sure, transportation demand management solutions are going to be consistent wherever you are because they add so much value and increasing the capacity of our transportation system. Next slide. Okay, so department has provided and continues to deliver projects that recognize the needs for employees and their employees that commute to work each day. We have at FDOT a robust commuter assistance program. In District 1, we call it Commute Connector program. We got a great team that focuses on bringing partnerships together, leveraging partnerships so that we can maximize our system. Like I said, it's a key transportation demand management strategy of the department to reduce congestion on our roadways. This program works directly with you, our area employers, and your teams to help connect the dots of our growing transportation network and providing innovative solutions for your workforce needs. In addition to Commute Connector, we're also happy to support commuter choice through our more than 20 park and ride lots. We partner with private entities also to create those private park and ride lots throughout the region. And our newest initiative, our true regional van pool program, is something that you're going to hear about in just a few moments. It's just a latest example of how we are able to partner with the private sector to provide new and innovative solutions. I encourage you to continue to utilize our Commute Connector team, and that's available to you all and completely state funded. I would think it's a win-win, and I want to emphasize our commitment at the department to continue our focus on the Commute Connect program. Next slide, please. So, obviously, FDOT District 1 as an employer also joins the ranks of the best workplaces for commuters program, and very, very proud to again share in this recognition with you all in 2021. Our offices are located throughout Southwest Florida because we got a district office, and then we got our operations centers, which are located by region and an urban office down in the Southwest area in Lee County. So some are served by transit and some are not. So we have what we've done is we've integrated flexible work options, including flex schedules and telecommuting, to provide a way for our employees to reduce their commuting impacts. It was pretty interesting, the dynamics of how we adjusted to the pandemic last year. We've always leveraged actively our flex schedule option, but the teleworking option has not been that widely used in the department. We only had about 1 to 2% of our employees, utilizing the telecommute option. Well, last year, before the pandemic hit, we've started promoting that as a option for our employees, and we've worked at the district and statewide plans, right? For employees to figure out which days they want to telecommute and which days they want to come into work, with a couple of primary objectives. One, maintaining the team dynamics, and two, providing services to our customers. Because, we are a public service agency, right? So ensuring that we are serving our customers right. Well, then pandemic hit and we went from 1 to 2% to about 70%, over 70% telecommuting. And the remaining 30% is because, they're all our field operations folks that their jobs do not lend to telecommuting. So what we found is there's a lot of satisfaction at the employee level that their health and safety is taken into account by the department, but also the flexibility that telecommuting brings, and the benefit that it provides to the state, to our transportation system. And we are leading as an agency by example. So we intend to continue this particular model and provide that flexibility, not only the flex schedule side, but also the teleworking side. In addition to flexible work schedules and teleworking, various locations on site, we've provided amenities like reserved parking for those sharing the right to work, annual promotions for healthy initiatives like biking and walking, and also working directly with our Commute Connector program like you do to provide access to services like ride matching and emergency ride home services. Next slide. So in closing, you can see our team there. We are proud to be walking the walk and pleased to be among our peers here today. Our success is growing our success in growing the Southwest Florida Commuter Connector program and the new regional van pool program can only happen with your partnership. Our team is working with employers like you, and today we celebrate the work sites that have been nationally recognized for their efforts. Thank you for all you do for your employees and our community, and we are very much glad to be part of the success for our communities and providing the options for our customers that are your employees. Thank you. So that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you so much, Secretary Nandam. That was wonderful. I couldn't have said it any better than myself. And I think it is important that people, realize how integrated our, departments are. FDOT isn't just about fixing the roads or construction or having those orange cones out there, in the way. We also are about enhancing the quality of life for people in the Southwest region. So thank you so much for that insight.
Okay, thank you, Lenina. Okay, I'm going to turn off my webcam and mute myself, and if there are any questions later, I'll turn it back on, okay?
Wonderful. And if you do have any questions, please remember to go ahead and enter those into the chat box. Now we're going to go ahead with the program, and I'm going to introduce Bill Winters. He is the director with the Center for Urban Transportation Research. Phil has been an incredible asset for us as far as providing those answers for those really intense questions and the research that we put into making sure that our messaging is targeted so that we can best serve you. So take it away, Phil.
Great, thank you, Lenina. And thank you, Secretary. That was a really good overview of what best workplaces for commuters is. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about what is best workplaces for commuters for those that may not be familiar. The whole idea behind it is to recognize organizations, private and public, that are offering high quality commuter benefits to their employees, to give them the recognition they deserve. Next, please. There's a reason for why workplaces are interested. And we've heard certainly that the Secretary just stated real well what the motivations are from the public side for doing this, such as reducing congestion, providing access, and strengthening partnerships. But it's also from the private business side or an employer side, not just private business, there are a lot of motivations that affect how their workforce, how their commute impacts their workforce and infects their organization, such as the first bullet, for example, about a quarter of the workers said they've quit a job because of a tough commute, with probably the average cost of hiring and retraining somebody being about the equivalent of that person's salary. that can be quite expensive over time. And then you can see some of the other bullets down there. And the last bullet, though, it's the Secretary indicated about 70% of DOT people are currently teleworking. Overall, we're about 30-some% here in Florida that are working from home as of the latest research from the Census Bureau. And that's probably up from about 5 or 6% before pre-COVID. So all this has impacts on workplaces. Next. Now, what Best Workplaces, again, it's a leading national recognition program. It was originally developed by the Environmental Protection Agency, and we assumed control of the program in 2007 to continue the recognition of companies that are offering a variety of commuter-friendly benefits. We have basically 3 categories. Best Workplaces for Commuters is certainly the overall brand, and it's intended for like single workplaces or multiple workplaces for the same employer in the same region. Best Universities for Commuters and Best Sites for Commuters. That's where you have multi-employers, such as in an office park, for example, and recognizing the types of programs they offer. Next. Now, why is there a focus on workplaces? Some people think, well, transportation doesn't have anything to do with running my business. Well, we actually surveyed what are the motivations, and you can see on the right the image there of all the types of answers that we received back from employers about why they were providing commute programs, from employee health issues. Traffic congestion was the #1 issue, but also things like offering a competitive advantage for recruitment and retention for employees, or in the case of like telework, overhead and reducing overhead and operating costs. Employers actually have a lot of influence on how employees choose to commute. It's based on things like what kind of work schedules are available, how much flexibility is offered, can they telework or use compressed work week programs, do they offer tax-free transit incentives, what is their parking policy and how they either assign spaces or in some locations price spaces. And finally, one of the other ones, of course, is providing amenities like bicycle lockers and shower facilities to allow their employees to commute by bike or walking. Next, please. Now, from what the benefits these employers can see and have observed, what the research are showing, things, for example, for telework are increased productivity, increased employee retention. And I think the Secretary, and I've heard this actually said many times, that they're finding actually productivity is going up and satisfaction is going up even over the COVID period as people get used to working at home and using tools like what we're using today to communicate. Then there are others such as carpooling and vanpooling, which help, or ride sharing in general, that help expand the labor shed. It makes it easier to recruit people that perhaps can't, for example, the type of employer may be located in a high, an area where the high hospitality area where their support team cannot afford to live close by, but they still need to have a long commute. So that's where kind of like a vanpool and carpools fill that void, and making it more cost effective for them to live further out and to still commute and get access to those jobs. Next, please. Now, to qualify to be a best workplace for a commuter, there's 2 types of benefits. One is what we call a primary benefit, and it's any one of these, at least one of these that are on the screen in front of you, such as offering to pay at least $30 a month towards a transit pass or a vanpool. Again, that's the federal government treats that as a tax-free benefit for most employers. It also allows them to, even if they don't want to subsidize, they can offer it as pre-tax to their employees. That's another option. The other overall type of kind of supporting strategies are things like, again, bicycle amenities, including flexible work hours and those types of strategies, and helping promote the program to their employees to let them know what their options are. Things like offering it as part of a new employee orientation can go a long way of convincing people to try another option before they start and get into the habit of perhaps driving themselves. Next, please. Now, this is kind of a distribution we did recently of the current members of Best Workplaces for Commuters and the types of strategies. So you can see, you know, over 2/3 of the folks were offering telework and had a significant participation in telework, which you might expect. But again, almost 2/3 also offer the free transit pass to their employees, all the way down to bicycle commuting and employee shuttles, all sorts of things. What they offered is obviously determined about what their employer needs are and what options exist for them. And so we allow a lot of flexibility. Again, they don't have to have all these, they just need to have at least one of these. Next, please. Here's a partial list of the large private employers, including on the list you'll see from District 1 is Legoland. But there's a wide range of companies, a lot of tech companies you'll see, but there's also a lot of, hospitals like in Tampa General Hospital, and then we're going to hear from Sarasota Memorial in a minute. So we see a lot of large companies like that too. Next, please. This is a partial list. We have over 450 workplaces that we recognized this past January. One of the other benefits we have in terms of membership in Best Workplaces is free access to webinars. And on the screen are a variety of our most recent ones, ranging from spotlighting employers in Austin and also in as part of the Florida DOT Mobility Week. We featured a couple employers in the statewide employer roundtable. But you'll see that there's a range on the Road to Learning one right below that, and the bottom is George Mason University and Harvard University. From a university point of view, what are they offering to their faculty, staff, and students? Because certainly they're large traffic generators too. Okay, please, next. We also have introduced this past year access to training for managers and teleworkers, managers of distributed workforce and teleworkers. It's an online self-paced training program. It's used nationally. We're able to secure a partnership with eWork to offer this certificate. In Florida, we offer one free seat to any employer in Florida that would like to try this out. It's up to 5 modules. You can see the modules listed below. And then if they want to acquire additional ones for their workforce after viewing it, we can certainly make arrangements to have that happen too. But it's a telework certificate, and after they finish the online course, they can have a certificate and actually say, for example, show to their supervisor that they've successfully completed the telework training. Next, please. So the summary is basically among the things we do. Again, I talked a little bit about in the beginning a national recognition program. Each January we issue a press release announcing who's on the list for this upcoming year, and we have the list on our bestworkplaces.org website. We allow certainly the employers we want to encourage them to use the branding of Best Workplaces. So when they're out recruiting employees or prospective employees will see that and think like, okay, I might have access to the ability to work at home at some point or get a transit pass or maybe support for me biking or occasionally working from home or a compressed work week. I also mentioned, I already talked about the Telework Certificate Program. They also have free access to our Commuter Choice Certificate Program. It's an online training program to get more in depth for various elements that go into that. So employers and agencies that promote these options can learn a little bit more. We do look to feature employers a spotlight to give them the elevation and recognition that they deserve for everything they're doing for their workforce, and including things like offering benchmarking reports, additional training, and providing research and updates are other types of things that we offer for current Best Workplaces for Commuters. Next, please. In Florida, it's the opportunity, there's no cost for the employer to apply or to be recognized. While there is a fee for outside of Florida, Florida DOT has been a strong supporter of best workplaces for commuters from the beginning. And so we make it available for any qualified employer. They get recognition for free. And again, here are the kind of the current schedule. Again, we're going to do a national list release in January 2022, and probably the universities in either January or February 2022. So next, please. And there's our contact info. It's either myself or Julie Bond, who's the Best Workplaces for Commuters Program Director, and there's our contact info. Thank you for the opportunity and look forward to hearing from everybody else. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Phil, for that wonderful in-depth description of what the Cutter does for us as far as allowing us to participate in the BWC award ceremony and the program. So as Phil mentioned, there are many benefits for implementing various commute programs, and that is something that we emphasize, and that our next two speakers, Allison Evanitz and Michelle Paranto, are going to go into more detail regarding. And as Phil mentioned, that telework certificate, that is actually a really good asset. So if you are interested in participating in any of the different options that partnering with us would allow, feel free to go ahead and download some of those handouts that we have featured in the presentation box, I suppose we call that. We do have the agenda for this presentation as well as the PowerPoint, and so you can kind of scroll through to revert back to that information if you would like to utilize some of those resources later. So I'm going to take it away, leaving it to Michelle Paranto, who is our FDOT representative. She's the one that we kind of consult with as far as helping us get these programs up and running, and Allison Evanitz, who is our program manager for Commute Connector.
Thanks, Lenina. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Paranto. I am the transit administrator in District 1. And I've been with the department for about 19 years now and have been in our transit office for 9 years. A few years back, I took over the Commuter Assistance Program project, which included rebranding ourselves, hence our newer name, Commute Connector. And so with that new rebranding, we started bringing ourselves back out into the community, trying to share information and enhance our commuters' choices in terms of mobility. We are striving to follow the Secretary's Vital Few initiative by using our transportation demand management strategies, which include van pooling, which is our newest success in that we've recently entered into a contract to make van pooling available throughout all 12 of our counties with a subsidy provided by the Florida Department of Transportation. In terms of where we were and where we are today, I tend to look just towards the future and hope to continue to have success with our Commute Connector program and getting a lot more employers involved in our Best Workplaces program here that we're sharing with everyone today. And we've done a great job in the last year or so trying to get employers to recognize themselves and their employees in this program. And then I guess that's the next slide, right? Yeah. So this is still my slide, right, Allison? Yeah. So thanks. Again, kind of what we do is we offer our commuters some choices about how to get to and from work. And some of that is car sharing or ride sharing in general, van pools. Some of it can be just allowing them to know and understand that they can telework, and that's part of, just a different choice that you're making, all leading to a better work-life balance, perhaps meeting some new folks, right? If you're gonna van pool or carpool, and creating a whole new network of like-minded people who are trying to do the same thing as you are, to work hard, work diligently, and also have a good balance on your personal life side. So we're hoping that through our Commute Connector program that everyone can enjoy their work a little bit better in a little bit easier fashion, and also reduce our congestion out there. I think that's it from my slides. I'm going to pass it over to Allison, who is our program manager for Commute Connector.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And it is such a pleasure to be part of this team. It's a really exciting work, and it's really something that I think is a huge benefit to commuters. So one of the great things about our commuter platform is it's an application. So, you know, it's great to use a bike to go to work. It's great to use transit to go to work. It's great to use a van pool. But if you're not going into the application and logging your trips, you're really missing out, because the application gives you the opportunity to build rewards. So every time you log a trip, you get rewards that you can exchange for coupons on local goods and services in your area. And if you're like, oh, you know, I don't like to use coupons, I would rather just pay for, you know, everything full price. Hey, that's great. You can actually win raffle prizes as well. So you can use those points to win maybe a gift card to your favorite restaurant. It'll also show you, by logging those trips, how much money you've saved. You know, how much air pollution you've prevented, how many calories you've burned, how much gas you've saved. So you can get a lot of information directly off this app. In addition, we can provide that information on a company basis too. So, you know, a hospital can see, hey, here's what our sustainability results have been through this program. Next page, please. One of the other benefits of logging your trips is that you do get to use the Emergency Ride Home program. And the Emergency Ride Home program is reimbursement. So if you're logging your trips at least 2 times a week, then you're able to use the reimbursement up to 6 times a year, up to $100 per incident. So if something happens, if you get sick, if your kid gets sick, if you were offered unscheduled overtime, we're going to go ahead and reimburse you for your car rental, your Lyft, your Uber, or your mileage. And you know that you have a way to get home. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry, can we go back one more? So congratulations to the 2021 Best Workplaces for Commuters this year. We did have 14 designated worksite organizations that represented 6 counties, including Lee, Polk, Sarasota, Collier, Charlotte, and Manatee. And here again are the primary benefits. Some examples: offering to pay $30 per month towards the transit pass, or offer to pay at least $30 a month for van pool costs, providing a pre-tax option for employees with at least 30% of employees purchasing such fare media at least $30 per month, offer a significant telework program that reduces 6% of commuter trips, and offering significant compressed work week program that reduces 6% of commute trips, and offering a cash option to employees instead of employer paid parking space. All right, back to you, Lenina.
Thank you, Allison. So, yes, I'm really grateful. I'm getting emotional now. I'm so grateful to be a part of an organization, a program that seeks to assist such a large population as the Southwest Florida region. This year was wonderful in that we were able to increase those participants and as far as the those individuals that won the award this year by 4 workplaces. So thank you again so much, not just as from me, but also from your employees, because it takes that commitment, it takes that dedication, and it takes that willingness to really do what you all are doing. And so we are grateful for that. So now I would like to present recognition for all of those employers that did win the Best Workplaces for Commuters Award designation. I worked with most of you personally, so I'm very, very grateful for you attending and receiving the congratulations as well as the award. So we have Legoland, Florida, who provides a wonderful transit and rideshare benefit, as well as the city of Sarasota and Sarasota Memorial Healthcare System, whom you will hear from later on in the presentation. Next slide. And then we also have, for those organizations that offer flexible work options and telecommuting, we have the city of Naples and Florida Department of Transportation, as we mentioned earlier. And then we have Collier County. Then we have CFRPC, who you'll hear from later on in the presentation as well. That's the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. We also have Polk County. Then we have the city of Northport, Florida, and then Lee County and Lee County Clerk of Court. Continuing on that list, we also have a Commute with Enterprise, who is a new awardee this year. This is their first time being designated as a BWC. And then we have Polk State College, who offers a wonderful, actually an assortment of benefits, including teleworking. They also support the Vanpool program. They also offer a wonderful transit benefit as well. And then we have FDOT again, because they also offer a flexible work schedule and telecommuting as an option. So the supporting benefits, we did talk about the primary benefits, but we are going to go into the supporting benefits as well. And every employer must offer at least 3 supporting benefits. And so that can be anything such as offering bike parking, or offering bike sharing programming, or even allowing us to Commute Connector to provide information to your employees. Oh, there's some more examples. We do ETC training, that's Employee Transportation Coordinator training. That's something that all you have to do is reach out to Commute Connector and we can get that scheduled for you. And that allows people within your work environment to be a resource for other individuals that may have questions, but may not feel as comfortable reaching out to us as they would be, going around the corner and talking to someone that's already in an office and already participating in those alternative transportation options. We also offer transit trainings. If you don't know what a transit training is, I would love to show you. We will actually meet you at your place of employment, or at wherever your origin is going to be before you actually head into work. If you're interested in riding a bicycle, well, I'm interested in showing you how to do that. We'll actually map out the route ahead of schedule and then participate with you in that actual real-time trip to your workplace. Same thing if you're interested in trying the bus, but you've never done it before and you're a little bit hesitant, don't want to miss your stop, just let us know and we'll ride that route with you. We also offer information that you can place in your workplace, and that consists of rack cards. We also have, flyers that we can present. Our new hire flyers are a favorite of mine, just because as you're coming into a new role in a new environment, why not be presented with that information that's going to kind of set the scene for what your experience is going to be for the future. So if you would like any of that information, please feel free to reach out to us as well. We also help with the preferred parking signage for rideshare. If you would like to go ahead and have dedicated van pool parking or carpool parking, we can assist you with getting that set up as well. And we do free informational presentations. I mean, I'm not the best public speaker, but I can do a pretty great presentation, as well as Allison. We'd be happy to virtually assist your employees with providing them with information, or we can come on site, with our protection, of course, to provide your employees with information about what options might be feasible for them based on where they are located and where your work site is located as well. And then, of course, there's the emergency ride home program. So for those individuals that say, well, I would, but we have the answer to that hesitation there, and that is the emergency ride home program. We can show them how to utilize that tool through our app and explain to them all the stipulations that go with being able to submit a claim and then receive that reimbursement. So these are all options that we can provide you more information on, as well as your employees. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you would like to learn more. One of my favorite options, I don't know if I said that earlier, is the biking option. So another supporting benefit that we offer is secure bicycle parking, as well as, that other employers might offer is the secure bicycle parking, as well as on-site amenities. You did the next slide. Again, as I stated, we do offer that information, and we can assist you with assigning carpool or vanpool parking. Next slide, please. Now we're going to go ahead and hear from one of our BWC awardees. If you'd like to go ahead and turn on your camera, Lisa. Hi there, Lisa. Congratulations again for winning the award this year. I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor so you can explain a little bit about what benefits that you offer at Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you again, everyone, for all that you do for our community. I am so thankful to be here today and for Sarasota Memorial on behalf of the organization to represent as one of the best commuter workplaces in the region. We are so excited about this honor. Some of the employer benefits that we offer here at Sarasota, as you can see on the screen, we have an employee transportation coordinator. We do have preferred parking and carpools and van pools for our employees. Maybe it's not so much the telecommute. It's kind of difficult to take care of our patients at telecommuting, but we do have a lot of roles within the hospital that do telecommute as well. We do offer ride matching assistance and encourage healthy habits by riding your bike to work, and offer free areas where they can secure vehicles. Other wonderful benefits offered through SMH are on-site showers and lockers for our employees. We do offer flexible scheduling as well, compressed schedules. So a lot of our clinical staff may work 3 12-hour shifts, thus leaving several days available for them not having to travel back and forth to work, saving gas, time, and CO2 emissions. We promote healthy initiatives, programs throughout the organization here at SMH, and we do offer our employees access to fleet vehicles. Next slide, please. Here are some of the numbers that I am so proud to report that we've saved as part of this initiative. We've reduced vehicle miles by over 22,000 miles. That's pretty significant. It's resulted in a commuter savings of over $12,000. And certainly with the green initiatives and making sure that we're all doing our part for the environment, this program has saved over 19,000 pounds of CO2 emissions into the environment. And while we work for a hospital organization, we're always promoting healthy habits. So taking the stairs, walking to work, biking to work, that promotes a healthy workplace, healthy employees at SMH, and we have all burned lots of calories for that purpose, through that event. All this physical activity certainly helps with employee retention, making everyone happier, healthier, and a wonderful place to work. I'm just so proud to be representing SMH here, and we are so thankful to all of you doing all of the work out here in our community, and thank you for recognizing us for this great honor.
And thank you, Lisa, for sharing that information regarding Sarasota Memorial Healthcare. And we can't wait to thank you again next year.
Wonderful.
So next up, we are going to say hello to Annie Arguello. She is with the Central Florida Regional Planning Council, and she's going to explain some of the benefits that they offer at their worksite. Thank you, Annie.
All right. Thank you. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lenina. So good morning. And first, I just want to say thank you to Commute Connector for inviting us and sharing some information about our agency's commuter benefits. But also want to send a special thanks to the Florida Department of Transportation's District One, the Center for Urban Transportation Research, and of course, Best Workplaces for Commuters for recognizing all the employers that are offering commuter benefits. So my name is Annie Arguello, and I am the Mobility Manager for the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. And actually, I've been with the agency for just under 6 months, but have been in the transportation industry for over 15 years. So again, I'm happy to share what we're doing in terms of meeting our employees' commuting needs. But first, I want to be able to provide just kind of a brief of who we are. So the Central Florida Regional Planning Council, or CFRPC, as we call it for short, is a regional planning services agency that provides support and assistance to our member organizations across several counties in central Southwest Florida in order to identify and address regional needs that include transportation planning, economic development, emergency preparedness, and regional convening. We also serve as staff to the Heartland Regional Transportation Planning Organization, or HRTPO, to coordinate transportation across the Heartland region. So those are the counties right in the middle of the District One service area and are predominantly rural. Therefore, for us, transportation and commuter benefits are essential not only as an employer, but also as an agency that works with a diverse number of stakeholders that are interested in all things transportation and interested in helping get people to the places that they need to get to. We are located in Polk County in Bartow, Florida, actually not too far from the Department of Transportation's district headquarters, and have a small group of about 21 employees serving numerous residents in our region. So over the past few years, the CFRPC has supported a robust telework, compressed work schedules, and flex time programs for our employees, and we actually have been recognized as a best workplaces for commuters previously. So we're happy to continue with that history. Essentially, we offer a telework policy that outlines an effective working structure for our organization and employees that includes technology to communication and performance expectations. And this telework policy came in very handy last year when we all started working from home, because it's been a part of our agency's ongoing culture. Even pre-pandemic, it was a smooth transition and allowed many of us, including myself as a newbie, to continue working from home and serve our clients. Additionally, we offer a few supporting benefits, and one of the most notable ones is access to fleet vehicles, very similar to Sarasota Memorial Healthcare, which helps us get around to in-person meetings when there are in-person meetings while maintaining, that social distance, as well as some bike parking in our area. Overall, these commuter benefits do provide us with the flexibility to balance work and our personal lives while keeping our employees safe and healthy. Additionally, as advocates of transportation, we will continue to partner with Commute Connector to encourage commute options, not only for our employees, but also the various stakeholders that we serve in the Heartland region through the free ride matching assistance, the carpool, and now the vanpool formations, which we're excited to hear about, and the free emergency ride home program. So once again, I just want to say thank you for the recognition. And again, congratulations to all the employers recognized and for the opportunity to be here today. And so with that, that concludes my brief presentation on our Central Florida Regional Planning Council's commuter benefits. Lenina?
Thank you, Annie. That was wonderful and very insightful. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Arlinda Caruli, who is our account executive. She represents Southwest Florida, as well as other locations as well. But now she's going to go into detail about the new and exciting Vanpool program.
Yes, thank you, Lenina. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. Arlinda Caruli, and congratulations to everybody that qualified for BWC for 2021. So we were proud to make that list. Again, I'm here to talk a little bit about vanpooling. We're really excited to launch the program in the Southwest Florida region through our partnership with Fdot and Commute Connector. So just wanted to share a little bit about how you could qualify for BWC, right? Phil Winters and Lenina, really everybody on the call mentioned that $30 contribution as an employer for you to qualify for vanpooling. So it functions a lot like a large carpool, right? Ideally, we want about 4 to 15 individuals to meet at a centralized location, and they utilize one of our vehicles to get to and from the work site. This does a number of things, right? Participants get to share driving responsibilities, so you're not stuck driving in traffic by yourself. Talking about traffic, it lowers that, right? Because now we're getting a few vehicles off the road by utilizing the vanpool program. And sometimes we have folks that like to be the driver, the pilot of the vanpool, so you may not get to drive at all. What this does also is that folks that don't have a valid license or any other method of transportation are more than welcome to participate strictly as riders in the vanpool. So it kind of opens up doors to others in this controlled environment. Next slide, please. And there's quite a few benefits when it comes to why employees really love Commute. One is the late model fully equipped vehicles. And the reason I picked that Nissan Pathfinder, it's a 7-passenger SUV, and it's one of the most popular vehicles that we have. Again, it's 7-passenger, which means that it allows for smaller groups to get together, and we range all the way up to the 15-passenger SUVs. The program does function on a month-to-month basis, so this means that you're not locked in a long-term financial commitment. Now, what we end up seeing is the average lifetime of a vanpool on the road is about 5 years, right? So that tells us that once folks start participating, they really appreciate the benefit of having time to themselves on the way to the work site. So they're coming stress-free, recharged, ready to be more productive because they maybe took a nap on the way to work or read a book. So again, a couple options. Comprehensive insurance isn't going to be included. So this means that the vanpool is covered bumper to bumper, as well as $1 million in liability. So if, again, you don't own a vehicle of your own, but you want to be a participant or a driver in the vanpool, you don't need your personal insurance to transfer over. This is something that we would take care of. And the best part about the employers is that you hold no liability. Obviously, it's a ride-sharing program, a benefit that you can supply to your employees to get to and from the work site, so you're not held liable or responsible for anything that happens. Maintenance is included, roadside 24/7, and remember, they get to actually keep the vehicle home with them. So they get an extra 200 miles for personal use. Significant savings. Again, when we start looking at the new picture, right, there's great employers out there, but there's others that also had to close up business, and maybe some spouses lost jobs. So this is another way for folks to be involved in the program, to kind of share that cost amongst other riders. And another way that you could save, and what we've been talking about throughout our presentation, is through the Fdot Commute Connector program. So if you can go on to the next slide, please. There's going to be a $500 subsidy per month going towards the vanpool program. So we're excited to kind of launch it with 12 at this time in the Southwest Florida region. And me and Allison have really been working closely in identifying additional opportunities. We can tell you right now that the need is there, right, in all 12 counties. So we're really excited to roll it out. And I know that we talked quite a bit about the emergency ride home program. Again, that qualifies all vanpoolers for that extra $100 per ride 6 times a year. So again, you have some assurance that, I know in Florida we're kind of used to having our personal vehicle parked outside, but really think about how often do you typically leave on a monthly basis due to an emergency. So I think that 6 times a year it's a pretty fair number for amount that you could utilize the program for. Go ahead to the next slide. And ideally, the way we work through the program is through the employers. And the reason we do this is they have access to data analytics that will allow us to identify where their folks are coming from. I know Phil touched up a little earlier on the percentages of folks that leave due to a stressful commute. So we want to be able to not only recruit, but retain that top talent that you have. So ideally, we either get zip code reporting with employee identifiers or addresses with identifiers, and they tell us exactly what these clusters of folks are that we need to target, right? These are the folks that live within a few mile radius of each other, that they can manage to share a ride through van pooling program or carpooling program and utilize it to get to and from the work site. So one way to do that is through Commute Connector meetings, where we could either come on site or do them virtually and talk to them a little bit about how van pooling works, talk about what that cost looks like to them, and see if this is something that they're interested in. And when we have those connection meetings with high attendance, there's a 90% chance that we will likely put a van pool out on the road. So we're excited to kind of start seeing those form. Next slide. One of the big questions that we've gotten so far, right, with ride sharing program response to COVID. We understand with the social distancing and the certain guidelines, but what we focus on, again, this is a controlled environment that we're talking about. The folks that are commuting together in a van pool already work within close quarters of one another. One way in communication that we've sent out to those folks is self-certification going into the van pools. Another way that our existing employers in the Southwest Florida region have worked with this is introduce thermometers inside the van pool. One thing that Enterprise did do is introduce the complete clean starter kit. So we kind of made sure that all of the folks riding in the van pool program took the pledge about the cleanliness of the vehicle. So we work with various healthcare authorities and focusing on these certain guidelines, right? So we introduced a kit that has a welcome letter that talks about the high touch areas of the vehicle, cleaning checklist, disinfectant pod with a bottle, a box of disposable gloves, disposable masks, as well as a roll of paper towels. And we have been very lucky, and I always knock on wood, that we have not had to terminate any van pools due to COVID. And again, there's that need for those, especially essential employees that we have on the road right now for this program. So that goes to the next slide, where it concludes my presentation. My contact information is on here. Again, for the employers that want to learn more about it, please reach out to myself or Allison. There's so many great benefits that could affect the community, especially that high focus on sustainability efforts, right? Reduction of CO2 emission, the focus outside of the typical approach, which is the four walls of the business, extending outside of it. And then also parking, right? I know that there's a lot of parking infrastructure costs that come along, and this is another way for us to decrease that need, is introducing van pool program. So again, thank you, and congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you so much for that, Arlinda. So yes, congratulations. I want to go ahead and thank you as well to the Southeast chapter of Association for Commuter Transportation. As a result of their donation, you all will be receiving this lovely notebook that you see on the screen. Also want to send another thank you to Cutter for offering this wonderful opportunity to recognize our employers. And of course, we want to thank the employers for participating in this opportunity to present these wonderful benefits to your employees. On behalf of the Florida Department of Transportation, as well as Commute Connector, thank you for participating with us today, and we look forward to seeing you all again next year. If everyone wants to turn on their cameras and say goodbye, we'll go ahead and end the presentation. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, Lenina. Great MC. That was good.